You know, when design this platform, when you put the programming together, I have to tell you, one of the greatest benefits to this, one of the greatest gifts that has been given to me, is it has given me opportunity to meet and embrace and work with just such a variety of people. But my delight is the connections that are happening in this room. Internships, someone said under their breath earlier, I'm gonna buy a house in Jackson. Craig, really inviting an ideal for early investment. Just the amount of genius and just love, and it's just such a good place to be. I am so grateful to be here, and that you all are here, and that you are, I won't even say take advantage of the opportunity, but going as the Spirit meets you and greets you and taking it. I'm telling you, tomorrow this will be behind you. We are only here for however long we are here. And we know we're gonna have a great time at the rodeo tomorrow. I know that. But there are people in your midst who do not miss this opportunity to make connections, and that works both ways. So I just want to again just give my thanks. And part of that is because the next person that you hear from is as near and dear to me for a variety of reasons, but the conversation that Cynthia is going to lead has been a miss. I've been doing the diversity, equity, and inclusion work for a long, long time, older than most of the people here, to be quite honest with you. And we've had the chief diversity officers that are here and diversity leaders and practitioners who are here with me. We've been really, really graced to do some great work. But one of the things that we have left undone, we have left outdoors. In addition to what Jeffrey said, how we have left folks out of the conversation, we have also left humanity out of the conversation very often. And Cynthia, comes to it from an emotional, a mental health and wellness perspective. And we are just now starting to deal with that. And so I find it interesting. I've been doing DEI work for 40 years, and we have not been addressing trauma. And so if all these things have been so disconnected and so discriminatory and so racialized, but we have not been dealing with the healings and the feelings of the people. And so that's her, that's who she is. And she's coming to it from a place that's so personal, you can't help but pay attention. So in addition to my family, she is the owner and founder of Love from Afar, the Christopher Allen Williams Foundation, and PADD, Parents Against Distracted Driving. Cynthia is the founder of the organization I just mentioned, but she is also a certified teen life coach and mentor, a PRIDE, Parents Reducing Injury and Driver Error instructor, a motivational speaker, a grief and recovery specialist, a certified mediator, and generational conflict resolution specialist. And she holds workshops around the country to assist families with breaking generational barriers for their family movers and removing the pain from the past. Cynthia has received numerous awards and commendations, including the President's Lifetime Achievement Award. And she was inducted into the Apex Museum of Women in History. And this year, she has earned an honorary doctoral degree in humanities. Congratulations and welcome, Cynthia.
Love you. Hey, it was a hard thing to follow a lot of these people today. So I was just sitting there and wondering, how does one really recognize who they are? How do you come up with the strategies to become whoever you are? And so I always ask, anyone here drink lemonade? Lemonade is good. I can remember years ago, my grandmother and everybody making lemonade that made you just want to, dang, that's not it. It didn't taste like that. Like, how'd she get that to make it like that? And then you start putting your twitch on it, right? And so now everywhere you're going, everybody has these peach lemonades or this strawberry lemonade or something's in your lemonade. But what's the gist of lemonade? What makes lemonade? Lemons. Who thought that a lemon could make something taste that good? It's the sugar. And we in life have to start contributing what our sugar is. But most importantly, what is our lemons? We know lemons are sour. And so as we contribute that, we give that to the things we've made pain in our souls with. Lemons are that childhood trauma, that rape, that failed marriage, the abuse from anyone, the losses, the total pain. And what we don't understand is how to always come through it, because we want to wear this mask in front of everybody and pretend, no, I just really wasn't that person that was hurt. But yet and still, when you go back home, you've now pretended to be this person that ain't got no lemons in your lemonade. It's not all sugar. See, the sugar are the sweet things, your graduations and your showers for your baby. But the lemon may be you don't like that daddy you got that baby with. The sugar may be that $30,000 wedding that you all and your family and y'all paid for all them folks to come tell them y'all go together, and then a year later y'all divorced. And when the embarrassment sits in and you don't really understand how to face those people who said, wait a minute, get to know yourself before you incorporate other families. But at that point, the trauma's already set in. How do you know what's in your lemonade? You gotta be dope enough to face it. We're not running from trauma no more, y'all. It's 2023, and what we are doing is facing it head on by way of 5 L's of life. These things are strategic for any human, because first of all, let me tell you, it is a mere fact that every human in the world has trauma. No one differentiates from it. We're born in trauma, we carry trauma, and we have to find ourselves ways to be delivered from trauma. So in order to do that, the first thing you have to do is admit you have it. Now, you can give it whatever title it is that destroys your soul and allows you to keep trying to make yourself better, but at the end of the day, you have to determine, I need help. I may not need help in this, but I need help in that. I may have this together, but I need help in that. And in order to get over that, you have to decide, when is enough enough? So the 5 L's of life: love. Love should drive any human to being the best thing they can be, because everybody loves something or someone. Loss. What have we lost in our lives? Is it a human? Is it a job? Is it a house? Is it a car? Is it family? It's whatever it is. Loss causes some of the most tainted pain in one's life that they never find a way to overcome. What have you lost? Lessons. What lessons have you learned from the loves you've endured and the losses you've experienced? With everything, there's a lesson in life, whether to understand how to do it this way or reroute it and do it a different way. You're gonna learn a lesson, and some of those lessons are so detrimental, you find yourself never wanting to cross that road again because that hurt too bad. But it's a lesson for you to learn. Legacy. What do we get up every day for? Who are we doing it for? How important it is for people that's coming behind us with a bloodline to say, this is how we do this. This is what our family will represent. This is what we give out to others. This is what we share when someone says, who are you and what do you do? That very answer to that question is what you want people to remember you for. Because when you be somewhere, you might see a whole bunch of people. When I speak all over the world and people go, I remember that lady who told you it's time to get some help. It's time to get some help. So when we recognize what our legacy is built on, it's the children we kind of have with us. But what if sometimes it's our parents who never learned that legacy was important? I'm sure it's several people here whose parents didn't do some of the stuff you're doing today. It's several people here whose parents didn't think to double back and grab that kid and say, come on, let's do this thing together. You know, I didn't start becoming this grief and trauma specialist because I just wanted to be this young lady who wanted to help folks stop crying. No, my 17-year-old son was killed in a car accident, and I didn't know how to live after that. I was 17 years old when I had him. I was 17 years old when I buried him. And right now I stand in front of you all 17 years later after finding out what was exactly in my lemonade. And my lemonade was the fact that my bloodline was tainted with so many different entities that I knew my daughter didn't need to experience. And the only way for me to do that is every year of my birthday, I share with her who I am and who I was at the year she turns. And I let her know, no, so we don't do it like that. We're not doing it like that. We got to do it like this. And we have the very uncomfortable conversation so she knows my mama kept it real with me and she told me who she was. And so I don't have to decide who I'm trying to be because she let me know that's not what we do. And it's imperative that you have the difficult conversations with your families. Put the phones down. When you're with your family, tell them how you pain. Don't run from it. Uncle Bobby can't touch you no more if you tell somebody. I don't care how much pain it hurts for you to hold it. We ain't doing it no more. We must face trauma head on. And if we don't, we're going to incorporate our bloodlines with the same pain that our ancestors kept their mouths closed about. We no longer can live like that because it's tearing down the community. I remember knowing this, it's a huge denier that moves me today. A lot of you are from Atlanta. I'm from Wisconsin, but I live in Atlanta. I've lived in Atlanta since I was a young girl. And as you drive through the highway, you see a hashtag across the highway that says, #ArriveAlive. The state gave me that because I am the first African-American mother to fight for distracted driving. But they didn't give me the texting and driving law. My son died in '06, and Caleb Sorahan died in '09. And as we both, as parents, we had to give 3,500 plus signatures. Caleb Sorahan is a Caucasian young man who killed himself in a texting and driving situation on his way to school one morning. But in 2018, when I tell you I decided I was gonna quit, and I wouldn't be standing here when they gave that young man's family the law. And I remember saying, dang, even though I fought 3 years harder than her, I ain't want Caleb to die no more than I wanted Chris to die. But it's the reason I fight today. It's the reason I tell people, ain't no need of hiding from the pain and the trauma you got, because there's somebody that's gonna hear you enough to say, I got you. We can do this. But they don't know who to help if you don't tell them what your lemonade is. You gotta be mindful. You can destroy your own soul if you keep hiding from the person inside of you that no one knows. The moment you wake up one day and say, I'm no longer gonna hold this pain and carry it with me, is the day you become severely optimistic to change the world you're in and those around the world that you're around. So everybody stand up for me. I need everybody to stand up. I know it's been a long day. I need y'all to lock arms with the person next to you. Lock arms, lock arms. And I want y'all to know there's a last L that I always say, and it's loyalty. And you need to look at the person next to you and say, what's in your lemonade and what sugar do you need? What's in your lemonade and what sugar do you need? You have to be loyal to yourself first. And the moment you're loyal to yourself, you can be loyal to anything and everyone around you. But if you're not loyal to yourself, you can no longer be loyal to anyone else. So let's practice the fact that we have love, loss, lessons, legacy, and loyalty, and we'll change the community around us. Let everyone next to you know, I got your back if you need me. Everybody make sure someone has each other's number, and make sure you know trauma can be defeated. Thank you so much. Turn up, I'm standing for questions. Okay.
Was that special? So, Cynthia will be our featured scholar at reception, so her books will be available. And I remember reading the first book, and I was like, oh, Lord, it's a family tell-all. And she did not, change the names. So if in reading you're saying, is that Wendy? Did Wendy tell me? It is. But I just want you to know, in front of friends and family and colleagues, how proud we are of you, how you have taken the worst thing in the world and saved lives. I've been in the room with her, with younger people, where I know there are some of them living and walking because of Cynthia. So I thank you, and we love you, and I love you.
Thank you.
So proud of you.
I was just telling Craig how I would sit and watch you when I was a little girl, and you would just be like, I would be so amazed, like, she did what? She worked where? She do what? Like, and it's amazing to even be on this platform with you. And it's amazing. One day I go all around the country and do a mock car crash with the local city and fire department and all that. And I'm outside in front of the high schools. We go to different high schools. I mean, we really do it all. We have Flight for Life land, and we show the kids every stage of an accident. And so I hear this guy over there crying and like, oh my God, what happened? What happened, right? And it's my Uncle Gene. He walks up. I'm like, no, Uncle Gene, it's fake. It's like, it's okay. He was like, oh my God, what are you doing? And I was telling him, he was like, oh my God, I just seen all these police and fire department. And I was like, no, I'm sorry. It's just a reenactment. So it's amazing to know that you move in the midst of what you got to do. And it's not that family is not in the midst of it, but it was so dope to come outside and then see his reaction head on. And then he's like, so you do this? And I'm like, yeah, it's amazing. But any questions?
Let me.
What's in my lemonade? Oh, man. So I'm a grief counselor, right? So knowing the timeline of events in your life is what's imperative to know where you're going, right? So one of the first assignments for any client I have is, where has your brain taken your feet? The brain is set up to go to the womb of the mother. Not everybody knows or remembers swimming in their mother's womb, but the brain is set up. From 0 to 3, you have your brain does nothing but reminds yourself how to walk, talk, and use the bathroom. That's it. 0 to 3, you use up 75% of your brain. By the time you're 15, you use up 95% with reading, writing, math, morals, values, learned behavior. That's 95% at 15. So when people say, what's wrong with these kids? They're trying to figure out who they are at 15 and what they've learned and how to put it all together. So by the time I was 15, I had already been raped. I had already been in the midst of my parents divorcing. I have already been abused. I was a fighter because of things going on in my home. And then I became to be a drug dealer. And I actually spent 15 months in a federal prison. And when I came home, I didn't really know how to adapt. And the moment I came home and I thought I got my life together is when my son got killed. So I thought that it was the things that I did in my life was why he died. But I know now he didn't die for that. He died for me to have my story in front of people like yourself, to know that it may look like, oh, you don't look like you've been through that? I don't know what that looks like, but I know that I endured it all. So my lemonade is real tart, but I got a lot of sugar because I can walk in a museum and see my face on the wall next to another black woman that created this. And I can see my face on the Presidential Lifetime Award. So at the end of the day, my sugar got some tart. My lemonade got some tart in it, but it got some sugar. It tastes all right. Either you.
Hi, my name is Camille Churn, and I'm an incoming freshman at the illustrious Clark Atlanta University. And I have a similar career path. I want to be a counselor. So what did your education background look like? And we'll first start with that.
So for me, it's a lot of studying, a lot of reading. But the miss of it is you got to tap into the wisdom. Every human has wisdom. Some wisdom is not in those books. You got to understand the vision that God gives you. And if I've understood the human mind very early, but if you want to really do that, you have to be able to remove yourself from who's sitting in front of you and help them with the vision you hear that's given to you. Because sometimes wisdom drives the majority of the world. Like a lot of people you see up here, God gave them a vision to make things like this unfold. You have to understand, is this what you want to do? Because to have someone come to you and share their real gut down things where they're just amidst of probably committing suicide or running around and being on drugs and alcohol, which what we call STIRBs, which is an acronym for short-term energy releasing behaviors, it takes a real strong individual to help somebody decide not to kill themselves and not to be on dope.
Okay, that was really amazing. Thank you so much for
You're
what
welcome.
you said. And also, are you open to mentorship or internships? And do you have your own business, like a brick and mortar?
Absolutely. So what we do is, I don't have a brick and mortar. My clients actually have individual sessions in their homes and to do community events. So what you all didn't know today is because you all are from Clark, I will be setting up a session to come. So all of you will get 3 full sessions where you could actually reach out to me and then you can take it from there.
Okay.
You excited? Yeah. So once you do the sessions and then you decide, but I would love to be a mentor to you if this is what you want to do.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I want to thank everyone for listening. I want to thank my aunt for being the amazing woman that I've heard everybody talk about all day. You are the epitome of what a woman should be. And I just thank you so much for striving and setting up the world for so many young people to follow. You are amazing. Thank you so much.